Dear students, welcome, Hoshamdeed and Hosh Galdanis. Today we are going to discuss the second part of our discussion on Victorian novel. Yesterday we discussed the traits and features of Victorian novel and the historical journey of Victorian novel. Today we are going to discuss the representative novelists and their works of Victorian age. So here is the list of writers of novelists who were the representative novelists of their time. So the representative novelists of Victorian age are Charles Dickens, George Eliot, Thackeray, Thomas Hardy, and Bronte sisters. Let's discuss each of the novelists with reference to their important works. The first novelist of Victorian age we are going to discuss today is Charles Dickens, and his time period is from 1812 to 1870. He's one of the early novelists of his time, one of the early generations of Victorian novelists, and one of the representative of the realistic novel. Yeah, he is one of the pioneers of the realistic novels. His novels expose the bitter realities, bitter situations of lives of the common man, and the sufferings of common man are depicted in the novels of Charles Dickens. Other than that, another important theme of Charles Dickens' novels is the plight of women. He also tried to highlight not like Bronte sisters or George Eliot, but at least as a writer, as a realist, he has tried his best to represent not only the sufferings of the whole society but also the plight of women in his novels. His representative and social novels that deal with the contemporary society of the time are Oliver Twist, Hard Times, A Tale of Two Cities, Great Expectations. Some of them are academically celebrated, and we will try to have a separate session for each of the novel to discuss the plot and the characters of each of the novel in details. So, Hard Times is actually the novel that is based on the hypocrisy of the Victorian age and the class system in Victorian age. Same is the case with the Tale of Two Cities and Great Expectations. We will have a separate session for each of these novels, but these are, briefly I'm telling you that these are the representative works of and the celebrated works of Charles Dickens. The second Victorian novelist we are going to discuss today is George Eliot. And George Eliot is actually the pen name of Mary Ann Evans. Her actual name is Mary Ann Evans, and her pen name is George Eliot. Her time period is from 1819 to 1880. And she is another representative figure of her time. Mary Ann Evans, she just wrote her novels with the pen name of George Eliot. She is one of the representative figures in terms of the production of realistic novels. She is one of the realist writers of her time, and she has also tried her best to reflect and to depict the contemporary society in her novels. Particularly, she has some feminist zest in her works. She is a woman novelist who didn't only intend to voice the age, but she also has tried to write for the feminist concerns. Yeah, her novels thoroughly explore the situations of women and the sufferings of women. That's why it is said that Mary Ann Evans means George Eliot. She has a very strong feminist bent in her novels, and she's one of the radical voices of her time. The famous and academically celebrated novels of George Eliot and Mary Ann Evans are The Mill on the Floss, Adam Bede, Middlemarch, and Romala. We will discuss each of them in detail in our next sessions. Today, I am just briefly highlighting the important works and the representative novelist of the Victorian age. So, preferably, I'll try my best to have separate sessions for these two, The Mill on the Floss and the second one, Adam Bede. We will have a separate discussion on Adam Bede and Mill on the Floss. The third representative novelist of Victorian age is William Makepeace Thackeray, and his time period is from 1811 to 1863. And Thackeray is also he has some roots, he has some background with the Indian side, and he was the child of an Anglo-Indian couple. Thackeray was born in Calcutta, India. He got the best education in the top institutes of his time. Thackeray was one of the intellectuals of his time, but he couldn't complete his university degree. Due to the excessive enforcement of classical knowledge, Thackeray's feelings for the dryest lessons in classical knowledge were not so pleasant. So he wasn't a fan of classical knowledge. So this is a distinguishing point of Thackeray, that he was an intellectual of his time, but he was having a very lavish sort of lifestyle. But on the other hand, he wasn't a fan of classical knowledge because he considered it dull and unpleasant. And he had got excessive enforcement to learn those classical knowledge and classical philosophies. That's why he wasn't having a feeling of likeness, or he didn't cherish the classical knowledge, and he considered it unpleasant and dull. He wasn't a fan of classical literature. Thackeray couldn't complete his degree because of some obsessions he was harboring in his mind. He remained indulged into his lavish wine parties and having company of women. So that's why I just explained earlier that he had a lavish lifestyle, and he belonged to some sort of rich family. That's why he has this type of lavish lifestyle. Later, this very man, this writer, Thackeray, he had visited. Later, Thackeray met some intellectual figures, some writers, and after meeting those people, he started feeling an inclination towards the classical writers, and that's why later he developed inspiration for Horace, and then he met old Goethe. And after meeting Goethe, his ideology about literature, it got refined, and he wrote so many essays, and his essays are actually the reflection of the social mindset of his time, as well as the political and economic mindset of his time. So his essays are also the reflection of Victorian trends and Victorian mindset. His life dominantly was like a man who spent most of his life in drinking and gambling, yet he produced some of the best works of fiction and prose. His essays are also celebrated because they are very important to study the trends and customs of Victorian people and Victorian mindset. They are very helpful for understanding the Victorian age. He was an essayist as well. His essays were the depiction of his society, just like his novels. Thackeray is famous for his prose and novels, and he wrote one of the remarkable works of his time in the form of Vanity Fair. He got fame from his novel Vanity Fair. So this is all briefly about Thackeray. We will discuss Vanity Fair in detail in the coming sessions. The next novelist of the Victorian age we are going to discuss today is Thomas Hardy. His time period is from 1840 to 1928. Hardy is also one of the realists, as well as he is considered as a fatalist. He got popularity as a poet and as a novelist of his time. He was one of the representative of the crisis of common man of the time. Yes, his novels depict the crisis of common man and middle class. Hardy was not only a realist, but he was also a fatalist. His works deal with the turbulent lives of middle class in result of the industrial emergence, and in result of the wake of the urbanization, and then the utilitarianism and the artificial trends of the upper classes and the suffering lower classes. They are deeply reflected through his works, and the common man's life and the life of women is very closely highlighted, and these lives are very closely observed and are depicted in his novels. He is also one of those who just wrote on the plight of women of his time. So somehow we can find the feminist themes in Thomas Hardy's novels as well, particularly Tess and Jude the Obscure. He wrote about the miserable lives of women due to the economic and social challenges of their lives. Yeah, in result of the growing industrialism and the dying agricultural system, the condition of middle class was miserable, but not only the middle class was suffering, but also the women of the middle classes and lower classes, they were suffering badly on that time, and they were also exploited in terms of their economic needs. The famous and academically celebrated works of Thomas Hardy are Far from the Madding Crowd, The Return of the Native, The Mayor of the Casterbridge, The Woodlanders, Tess of the Tubervilles, Jude the Obscure. These are almost all of these novels. They reflect the lives and the challenges of common man, and they reflect the plight of women as well. Particularly Tess of the Tubervilles and Jude the Obscure. They reflect the sufferings of women in depth. Then came the Bronte sisters, and I personally like the Bronte sisters and the novels, especially the novels of Charlotte Bronte. Bronte sisters are famous for their feminist themes. Yes, they are one of those radical writers who were writing with the feminist zest. Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre is one of the classics in terms of its tendency towards realism as well as towards feminism. It narrates the struggle of a girl who was seeking it narrates the struggle of a girl who is seeking her own place in the society. Jane Eyre is the representative character of this novel, who is searching her independent identity, and he wants to get her share of life and of her own identity from the society. This very novel is based on the struggle of Jane Eyre to become an independent woman. Jane wins a recognition at the end of the novel in Jane Eyre, and then the other important work is The Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. It's another masterpiece of its time. Bronte sisters have created strong female characters who are able to create their own world, and this is evident in their novels, particularly in Jane Eyre, then in Shirley, and then The Professor. All of these novels, they reflect the characters who have strong female characters who are just trying to create their own world. They are trying to create their own independent space in the contemporary society. Charlotte wrote about the sufferings of unmarried women in terms of social and financial pressure. The important works of Bronte sisters include Jane Eyre, Villette, Wuthering Heights, Shirley, and The Professor. These are some important works of Bronte sisters, and almost all of these works are having women as central characters. So this was all about the representative Victorian novelists and their important works. I have tried my best to just highlight the major themes of their works, but we will discuss each and every academically celebrated work of Victorian novelists in detail in our coming sessions. See you with the next topic in a new video. Thank you so much for today. If you like our videos, then subscribe to our channel, watch, like, and promote us among your fellows and friends for an easy access towards different subjects of English literature. Don't forget to press the bell icon for our recent updates. See you with a new topic in the next video. Allah Hafiz.